Oh boy, not again. Ladies and gentlemen, prestige promoter Bob Arum, top rank, going at it with Teofimo Lopez, the two-division lineal champion Teofimo Lopez. This relationship has been a roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? They always at odds. Then Teofimo Lopez is happy. Then he's unhappy. Bob Arum is cool with Teo. Then he seems like he's throwing shots at Teo. All right, folks. Let's see what Bob Arum had to say in a recent interview, right? Bob Arum on Teofimo Lopez claiming his contract with Top Rank is invalid. Teofimo sometimes act like he has screw loose. I like the kid, but I can't figure him out. He makes no logical sense. He signed an extension with us first with Jose Pedraza, fight that didn't happen. And when we did another fight with Sandor Martin, he signed the same extension. So it's there in black and white. I assume he showed the lawyer the first contract and not the second. Dealing with Teofimo is like dealing with Alice in Wonderland. All right, folks. Let's break this thing down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively, and let's see who we need to hold accountable and responsible for the reason why this relationship just been on a roller coaster, up and down. Can't see eye to eye for the most part. All right, let's go. When Teofimo Lopez beat Richard Comey, right? Before that, Teofimo Lopez was calling out Vasily Lomachenko. That's the fight that they wanted to get. That was their goal. And we understand that Vasily Lomachenko was the golden goose of Top Rank around that time, right? Teofimo Lopez went out there and he beat Richard Comey. Well, he won the final elimination bout between himself and Nakatani, and then he got Richard Comey on the same day that Bud Crawford beat the Mean Machine. Stole the show, second round KO, and boom, he became a champion, right? Beautiful performance, great statement performance. Teofimo Lopez has been highly entertaining all the way up to the Nakatani performance and stuff like that. And people, and there was analysts like Timothy Bradley, Andre Ward, and the people on ESPN, was saying, oh, maybe he's not ready for the likes of Vasily Lomachenko or even a Richard Comey, in which people felt that was almost a 50-50 fight because of the way that he performed versus Nakatani, right? But anyway, knocked out Richard Comey. Got the got the Vasily Lomachenko fight, right? During the pandemic. And that right there probably hindered, which is no fault of Top Rank and no fault of Teofimo Lopez, right? If the pandemic would have never hit, right? That fight would have been in Madison Square Garden, right? And the steam that Teofimo Lopez had and the steam that Vasily Lomachenko had, I think it would have been almost a sellout crowd. It would have been a nice turnout. I'm gonna tell you like this: if Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor could sell out Madison Square Garden around that time with the steam that Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko had going into their fight, and we already know that it had good steam because they did 4.2, 4.3 million views on ESPN. Can you imagine them in Madison Square Garden, in which Vasily Lomachenko has a good fan base and Teofimo Lopez as the Brooklyn kid? You know what I'm saying? It would have probably did a sellout crowd. So we can't fault Top Rank for it, and we can't fault Teofimo Lopez for it. But it was unfortunate, and it was unfortunate for Teofimo Lopez, right? After that, Teofimo Lopez, as we all know, beat Vasily Lomachenko. The guy was regarded pound for pound, 1, 2, 3. You could flip it around at that time. Teofimo Lopez, beautiful win. Everybody in the sport of boxing, pundits, media folks, channels, even the haters of Teofimo Lopez, legends was crediting and was so happy for Teofimo Lopez. It was trending. Everybody was going wild. He was getting credit even from the UFC community. It was crazy. This is where I felt Bob Arum and Top Rank dropped the ball, because Teofimo Lopez at that point, I think he made like what, $1 million, came home with $400,000. That right there, he should have had an increase, right? He's pound for pound, great accomplishment, undisputed, right? Let's not forget, They said it was undisputed. I know a lot of people was talking about that the WBC franchise, but Teofimo Lopez, as we all know, we know that Vasily Lomachenko had all the straps, he had all the accolades, and when he needed one more to get that undisputed right, we know that it was undisputed. That's what they promoted. That's what Top Rank promoted. That's what ESPN promoted. But they didn't feel like he was worth enough to give him a great upside and of a great enhance in his pay. They didn't want him to fight his mandatory George Kambosos. And they was only willing to give him $1 million for George Kambosos. After Vasily Lomachenko, and you could just tell the energy that when he beat Vasily Lomachenko, I didn't think they was ready for Teofimo Lopez to beat Vasily Lomachenko because Vasily Lomachenko was their golden goose. That's the guy that they was promoting. That's the way that they love. You saw, Bob Arum was saying that Vasily Lomachenko is like on Muhammad Ali status probably. You know what I'm saying? He was giving him so much credit. Haven't seen nothing like this since Muhammad Ali. Wow. We never seen that hype for Teofimo Lopez. I mean, Top Rank did not promote Teofimo Lopez like he's the next Roberto Durang, the next, Hector Camacho, the next. It was, you know what I'm saying? Everything they promoted and their hype just came from him and what he did in the ring and his father. He didn't have the entourage. He didn't get the co-signer like Gervonta Tank Davis had the co-signer from Floyd Mayweather. Ryan Garcia had the co-signer from Oscar De La Hoya. Shakur Stevenson had the co-sign of Andre Ward and Bud Crawford. And Devin Haney had the co-sign of Floyd Mayweather as well. He ain't had that hype. He didn't have that hype. They didn't value Teofimo Lopez after the Vasily Lomachenko fight. Now that you got to hold Bob Arum accountable and responsible, right? He took it a purse bid in which he felt the need to take it a purse bid because he felt like he was valued more than what they was trying to pay him. In which we see in the purse bid that Triller and DAZN bid it on that Kambosos and Teofimo Lopez purse bid. They bid it more than even Top Rank. Top Rank only bid it I think it was $2.4 million and stuff like that. I mean, you should have gave him the $2 million at least up front to fight George Kambosos anyway. And that's when you knew that they wasn't valuing Teofimo Lopez. After the Vasily Lomachenko, I bet Vasily Lomachenko was getting, $3 million minimum. Teofimo Lopez has more upsides, has youth, has entertainment value, know how to talk. But they didn't feel like they didn't feel like they needed to pay him. So Teofimo Lopez took the purse bid and he saw his value, his true value. Triller outbid everybody with $6.2 million. Ooh, that means that Teofimo Lopez is going to get paid $4 million to fight George Kambosos. And that was the spark right there by Teofimo Lopez. No. I do not worth this $1.21 million that I've been trying to give me. Because Triller bid it $6.2 million, and then DAZN bid it, I believe, what was it? Almost $4 million, $3.9 million around that. So even more, I think it was $4 million, $3.9 million, something like that. Ooh, this is my worth. See, the purse bid exposed how Top Rank felt the market value of Teofimo Lopez. So right then and there, Teofimo Lopez already knew that he's worth more, right? That was the indication. Now, we got to hold Teofimo Lopez accountable, whether we like it or whether anybody likes it or not. And whether we knew that he going into that fight with George Kambosos, again, a pandemic here, he had COVID and stuff like that. There was, postponement, and they had to push the fight back. So fast forward to that, as we all know, Teofimo Lopez lost to George Kambosos. Now, right there, he got to take accountability for that L. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You got to take accountability for that L. And what happens when you do take the L? Your value drops. You know what I'm saying? Your value drops. Sometimes managers could drop you. Promotional company could drop you and stuff like that. They was happy because they had a meeting with Bob Arum. And Bob Arum, you know what I'm saying? Took it all right. Took it cool. Like, you know what it is? It is what it is. He went outside of the promotional company. You know what I'm saying? So, and I remember with Teofimo Lopez Sr., Teofimo Lopez, they was giving Bob Arum credit for not abandoning them after the loss. So this is what I was talking about, the roller coaster. Like, they cool, they not cool, they cool, they not cool. So Teofimo Lopez, of course, that was a real hit for his career because he was on top of the world with Vasily Lomachenko. And now it gives a reason for everybody to now devalue him in terms of pay, right? So he never got the chance. He got the chance to get the big fight, but didn't get the chance to fight in a large venue. He didn't get then with George Kambosos, they fought in the Hulu Theater. It wasn't big, but it was a lot of people. Everybody, it had a good buzz, but because of the postponement, it was like, man, this fight gonna happen. If this fight gonna happen, whatever, right? Whatever happened. Moving forward, then he fought Pedro Campa, right? He moved up to the 140-pound division, had a long layoff due to his health, and it was a great performance, but of course nobody knew who Pedro Campa was. So how much credit could you give? People wanted to give Teofimo Lopez for that performance. So the next fight, boom, he get the big room. What he been wanting to headline probably all his life, right? Being born in Brooklyn, a fighter, you already know Madison Square Garden is the Mecca. For Sandor Martin in the big room, the first time he headlines Madison Square Garden. And his performance was not the takeover type of performance, the statement performance that many thought was going to occur. He got dropped on a flash knockdown. Sandor Martin had a distasteful style as well, boring style. It wasn't an exciting fight. Teofimo Lopez wanted to press the action. He really wanted to entertain. It was his moment. And it just wasn't a moment. You feel me? That was the moment to recapture the fans from, that Teofimo Lopez, that performance like Richard Comey, the performance with Vasily Lomachenko and stuff like that. And it didn't do that. And it wasn't a sellout crowd. It wasn't a packed place. So, that's when he questioned himself, right? In the post-fight interview, everybody was talking about it. A lot of people didn't give him credit. Then a lot of people didn't think if that Teofimo Lopez was going to reappear, right? Then leading up to the Josh Taylor fight. This was, I believe, also where now you got to hold Top Rank, ESPN, Bob, everybody accountable for what they did to Teofimo Lopez's legacy. Leading up to the fight with Josh Taylor, Top Rank was also promoting Vasily Lomachenko versus Devin Haney pay-per-view. Wow. Devin Haney just got into Top Rank. Of course, you already know Devin Haney, after George Kambosos had that victory with Teofimo Lopez, his next fight was Devin Haney. Devin Haney signs with Top Rank to get the George Kambosos fight, right? They fight in the stadium. It seems like they value Devin Haney more than they value Devin Haney more than Teofimo Lopez after Vasily Lomachenko. Think about this. Top Rank didn't feel like they wanted the fight with George Kambosos. They didn't feel like it was worth it. But when Devin Haney, they feel like it was worth it in the stadium and all of that. They gave him all the love. They even paid him more. They paid Devin Haney more than Teofimo Lopez after Teofimo Lopez became undisputed to fight George Kambosos. So guess what? Now Teofimo Lopez is like, yo, you guys undercut me, didn't value me, I didn't want to fight, and now this guy comes to my home that I am the one that uplifting Top Rank as well. And you snub me with a rivalry. It is what it is. Let's just keep it real. Y'all could call it envy. You may call it jealousy, but it is what it is. You got to understand this is the way that from the surface, Teofimo Lopez may be looking like, yo, they playing me dirty now. And now the dirtiest move was in the build-up to Vasily Lomachenko and Devin Haney. It's undisputed. But hold up. We already had a lightweight undisputed. How this is undisputed? You know what I'm saying? Well, it's undisputed because, you know what I'm saying, Devin Haney got all the belts. But then they was promoting Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez, and they called Teofimo Lopez the former unified lightweight champion versus the former undisputed junior welterweight champion. They shitted on Teofimo Lopez right there. So now, this is the roller coaster now. Oh, y'all disrespect. Oh, time out. But this is Top Rank. Y'all promoted my fight. Y'all knew. Y'all called me undisputed. That was me and Vasily Lomachenko, undisputed. ESPN, undisputed. When I won, y'all called me undisputed. And now that Vasily Lomachenko is fighting Devin Haney for undisputed, you guys snub me and now tell the whole world, well, I've been fighting the whole world to respect me as undisputed because the undisputed were disputed. And now y'all throw me under the bus and call me a former unified lightweight champion. They stole Teofimo Lopez's undisputed legacy. They stole it. They took it away from him. The same people that gave it to him took it away from him. Wow. Dirty move by Top Rank. Dirty move by Top Rank. And this is why you see the frustration of Teofimo Lopez. Because y'all valued me. Now I'm not even in the books. Think about it. Teofimo Lopez, think about the franchise, WBC. You had to pay sanctioning fees for the WBC to face Vasily Lomachenko. You had to face belt fee because that WBC franchise was on the line. What's that belt now? It's not, it doesn't even exist. So think about the sanctioning fees that he needed to pay the WBC for the George Kambosos and the Vasily Lomachenko fight. Well, of course, that one was with the Zone, but this one was with Top Rank. Fast forward to the Josh Taylor fight. They got him in the Hulu Theater. Barely promoted the fight. I remember that on Sunday was the one that they really ramp up the promotion. That Sunday, that week of the fight. Oh, my God. This is supposed to be a big fight. Josh Taylor versus Teofimo Lopez. Now, what you see in the tweet when they say that Teofimo Lopez signed an extension before the Sandor Martin fight. Let's get this thing straight. Teofimo Lopez didn't sign an extension. He signed a contract to fight Sandor Martin, which in the contract, if you beat Sandor Martin, then it extend that contract. Ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of people never seen a boxing contract before, but I'll give you an example. You may sign to a contract in 4 years or whatever, but within those type of contracts, I'm just giving you an example because I don't know exactly the details, but this is like standard boxing contracts. Let's say, for example, Teofimo Lopez, okay, during fights, you sign a contract to fight that person in the week of the fight. We seen that a lot of people you seen where they announce fights and you think that everybody signed the contract. Now the official contract is they sign in the week of the fight. And let me tell you what promoters and managers may do. And I'm not saying that this is what happened, but I'm just telling you that my experience and what I know. Gearing up, these fighters are gearing up for a fight. They ain't trying to see the details of the contract. This is their attorney. This is their manager. They had to deal with all of that, right? Sometimes these fighters, it is what it is. They don't know the details of it. All right, let me sign that contract. We're ready to go, man. I'm cutting weight. Blah, blah, blah. I gotta get this fight. I gotta get back to the mountaintop. Let me get the Sandor Martin fight. Sandor Martin. It was supposed to be Jose Pedraza, but Sandor Martin, the guy that retired, Mikey Garcia, still a good name. If Teofimo Lopez loses to Sandor Martin, he don't got a contract with Top Rank. If he wins, he extends the contract. In certain contracts, if you become a champion, it extends to a 3 to 5 years, or even 3 to 5 years. You got to defend that title or have 5 more fights. Whichever comes first, 3 to 5 years or 5 more fights. I'm just telling you what certain contracts in the sport of boxing is. You're hooked. Sometimes these fighters have to make a decision. If you win, you're hooked and then extend your contract automatically. If you lose, then you lose more than just the fight. So a fighter could be unhappy, but if they win their next fight, I'm extended. But I don't want to be extended. But when you sign to fight a fighter, you really just want to fight the fighter, and hopefully that's it. This is my last fight. But if I win this fight within the contract, it extends my contract. Damn it, what I got to do? Of course, Teofimo Lopez is not going to lose the fight. Because if he loses just on purpose, you know what I'm saying? It just devalues him even more. So that's the difficulty. That's the bad part, right? But anyway, he beats Josh Taylor. And great performance. Teofimo Lopez is back. Now, this is where we got to hold Teofimo Lopez accountable in terms of value. I believe his purse was what, 2.2, 2.3, 2 million plus versus Josh Taylor. Now he's back at the mountaintop again. But right there, when he got to the mountaintop, he announced retirement. Pop his own air balloon. I understood why, but the fans just want to see a fight. Look, in the end of the day, fans don't give a damn about what's going on in your private life, your business, the business. You know what I'm saying? Even though that, we're all humans. But at the end of the day, the fighters want to see a fight. And right there, Teofimo Lopez captured the imagination and the emotions of the boxing fans like he did versus Vasily Lomachenko and Richard Comey. And he could have ride and really, have that momentum. But when you say you retired, huh? Oh, come on, man. It's like he pop his own air balloon, his own momentum. It is what it is. Right? Then people wasn't talking about what's next. People was talking about whether he's being real with the retirement. Now everybody just talking about retirement. Then it's this. It's not even that. People didn't give that full credit, that full praise, because it got diminished. The hype went down when the announcement of retirement and him almost wanted to let go of the belt and all that stuff. And it was just, if you could go back, that it took a hit. It took a hit because now people wasn't talking about the Josh Taylor performance. People were just talking about this retirement. And then he's going back and forth, again with his team, Top Rank. So it's like it's just. It was just bad timing. I think it would have been better. Everything would have kept behind the scenes. So that right there got to take responsibility and accountability. Whether it's right or wrong, whether they have a great reason, it just wasn't great timing to announce that type of retirement, knowing that he was going to be right back, right? So there was back and forth, there was unhappiness, and then they got to a place where they was happy. I remember Teofimo Lopez had a meeting with Top Rank. They did a video with Bob Arum and the Top Rank people. It looked like in the conference table, and they was giving Teofimo Lopez what he wanted. Super Bowl week, Las Vegas, Nevada, Super Bowl week, his own show. You could see that the advertising and the marketing was all for Teofimo Lopez. This is another coming out party right here for Teofimo Lopez versus Jermaine Ortiz. Of course, he won a unification bout with Subriel Matias. Subriel Matias said he was injured. Jose Ramirez, that would have been a great opponent as well, especially in the West Coast. He didn't want the fight. He signed with Golden Boy Promotions. Devin Haney capped about wanting the WBO strap when Teofimo Lopez was about to drop the WBO strap, and he went to the WBC route and was prepared to fight Regis Prograis. Teofimo Lopez fight Jermaine Ortiz. Now, this was a fight for Teofimo Lopez to captivate the imagination and the emotions of the boxing fans after a great win, almost like he did like he was supposed to do with George Kambosos after the Lomachenko win, right? It was a snooze fest. And yes, Jermaine Ortiz didn't come to fight, but it is what it is. It was a snooze fest. It wasn't a statement win. And people was debating whether he won or whether he lost. So after the Josh Taylor fight, it was this notion of he was retiring. It annoyed several people that even I remember there was haters of Teofimo Lopez that they got humbled. But then, for them, it gave him a reason. Oh, his character, his personality, what's he doing? He's messing up. Here we go again with the whining, the crying, and the pocket watching. That's what people felt like he was doing. That he was jealous of Shakur. That he was jealous of Devin Haney. He's pocket watching. Blah blah blah. All right. That performance, not a good momentum. Fast forward after the Jermaine Ortiz fight, then he gets Steve Claggett. Now, that opponent was there for Teofimo Lopez to look spectacular. He didn't want nobody to move around. He wanted to look spectacular. They picked that opponent. It was in Miami, and he won every round. But it wasn't that type of statement win like that Richard Comey, like that Teofimo, like that Vasily Lomachenko, like that Josh Taylor. It was back-to-back victories, but especially the Steve Claggett, in which he threw a lot of punches. Fans, I was out there in Miami. Fans was happy about it, but it wasn't a statement win in boxing where it'd be like, damn, he's calling out Bud Crawford. Damn, he's gonna be, yeah. I think Bud Crawford could give him. It wasn't that. So it was back-to-back underwhelming performances compared to what we know. And maybe Teofimo Lopez, he spoiled the boxing world with the Richard Comey, a respectable champion, and Vasily Lomachenko and Josh Taylor. It's like, damn, he got, as much as he has a roller coaster relationship with Bob Arum, he also seems like of course, the reputation is that he performs to the level of his competition. And now, again, he's unhappy. He's happy, he's unhappy, he's happy, he's unhappy. Don't know exactly, the professionals that's advising him or seem unhappy. He want to get out the contract, and then it seems, and this is what we're reading in this tweet, that Teofimo Lopez believes that the contract is invalid, and Bob Arum is saying no, it's valid. You sign an extension. Now, a lot of these things he should know, because he has a manager in David McWaters. And in the past, he's been also frustrated with his manager. So there is accountability in both ways, in terms of performance, in terms of Top Rank and how they devalue Teofimo Lopez and how they disrespected publicly, marketing-wise, advertising-wise, his accomplishments. And Teofimo Lopez risked his life for those accomplishments. Teofimo Lopez, if it wasn't for the politics of the sport of boxing, will be the first male in the history of the sport of boxing to be crowned two-division undisputed world champion. He takes his legacy serious. Remember, he wanted boxing to go back to what it used to be. And he see that people devaluing that as well. So there's responsibility and accountability to go all around. Again, I believe that Bob Arum, Top Rank Boxing, did a horrible job in not valuing him the right way, not congratulating him the right way, knowing that he beat Vasily Lomachenko. If y'all would have paid him right, he would have never gone to get that Triller. He never would have gone to Perth, but he needed to do it because y'all didn't appreciate Teofimo Lopez after Vasily Lomachenko. But also, Teofimo Lopez, once you take that risk, you couldn't drop the ball versus George Camboso. Because if Teofimo Lopez would have beat George Camboso and then would have beat him, Madison Square Garden, Hulu Theater, a spectacular performance. If he would have had a spectacular performance, right? Because nobody really heard about George Camboso. Then his value would have been how much he got paid at, almost at $3.9 million. He just would have keep on rising, but that took a big hit. So that got to take accountable whether he was fit to fight or not. But he fought. He stepped inside the ring. So it's no excuses there. Whether he may feel, his team may feel that they got robbed, it was a split decision, it could have gone either way. But it wasn't still a Teofimo Lopez type of performance. It was a fight of the year. It was great. It was great entertaining. But it is what it is. Dropped the ball right there. And the performance with Sandor Martin, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a statement win, but it was a win. And it's, look, when he retires, it's going to look great in his resume. The Sandor Martin win it's gonna look absolutely great because Sandor Martin is top 5 ranked in the 140-pound division, and he has a great win versus Mikey Garcia and has a momentum right now. So that is aging well. So I think that it's best for these two to just go their separate ways. I think for top rank, if you're not going to value Teofimo Lopez the way that I believe that he should and his accomplishment entails to, then let him go. If you're not going to value him, let him go. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to treat him like the golden goose, let him go. Hopefully that Teofimo Lopez can have somebody to buy him out that contract, because this up and down, you know what I'm saying, uncertainties or whatever, and then your promoter's talking shit about you and saying it's just let him go. You guys never, Top Rank never really truly valued Teofimo Lopez the way that he should. Bob Arum called him a schmuck when Teofimo Lopez said that he will fight Josh Taylor undisputed versus undisputed. Called him a schmuck like it was a bad idea, but guess what? Canelo Alvarez did it with Jamel Charlo. So it wasn't a bad idea. It could have been promoted great like that. I just think that they never truly respected Teofimo Lopez or his dad. You know, I think they was forced to respect Teofimo. Of course, they respect Teofimo Lopez because they signed him, but I don't think that they was ready. Again, like I said at the beginning of this video, I don't think that they was ready for Teofimo Lopez to beat Vasily Lomachenko. I don't think they was ready for that. I don't even think the sanctioning body was ready for that. And I don't think they was ready for Teofimo Lopez to beat Josh Taylor. They wasn't ready for that. See, Teofimo Lopez is proving them wrong. And when they prove him wrong, it's almost like, oh, I'm not gonna, it's almost like a punishment. I'm not gonna give you this type of money. I'm not gonna give you a raise. Right when you beat Vasily Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez should have got paid $3 to $5 million minimum. When he beat Josh Taylor, he should have got paid $3 to $5 million minimum. But if he's still getting paid $2 million, that means his pay is not going up. His value is not going up. Somebody is putting a cap on Teofimo Lopez, and probably Top Rank is trying to blame Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, at the end of the day, he's doing what he's supposed to do in the ring. Under Top Rank promotion, he's undefeated. Under Top Rank, so he's doing his work. Or y'all doing yours. Is Top Rank doing your work? Because Teofimo Lopez is doing his. He's winning. He's winning. And he's won big fights and legacy fights under Top Rank. When y'all going to pay up? And if y'all not ready to pay up, if y'all not ready to value him, let him go. And then y'all all could be and go happy y'all separate ways. That's what I believe. So there's some accountability and responsibility on both parts. For the most part, Teofimo Lopez is the fighter, and Teofimo Lopez is the one that's risking his life. And Pete and Teofimo Lopez have delivered in wins and legacy wins. When is he going to get respected as a legacy fighter and one of the best accomplished bullfighter of this young generation and the most accomplished fighter of this young generation? When are you going to value him? If you're not, let him go.